Hello and welcome back to Monarch Green. We are very excited and pleased to present to you today our latest innovation. They are the Floodbag sandless sandbag. Now, what is important about a sandless sandbag from Monarch Green? Well, first of all, as you can see, they're really flat. They start out really flat, they're lightweight, but what happens is when they contact water, whether it's from rain, whether it's from surface water, or if you hose it down or sprinkles or whatever happens, then they will inflate and look like this in a matter of minutes, and you're going to see that in a second. Now, we deliver these in 4-packs all the way up to 450 pieces on a pallet. And what else is important is to know, and I'll show you this later, subject to restrictions and regulations in your area, you may be able to dispose of them on site, up to 95% of their content, to where they'll be lighter than this when you walk away with just the bag and a little something that happens to be inside. But the majority of it you can dispose of on site. It'll biodegrade, subject to rules and regulations by the local, state, and federal in your area. Floodbag sandless sandbags from Monarch Green are low cost, they are lightweight, but they're heavy enough not to move around if they're kicked or if there's a air movement, wind, whatever. They're going to stay put. They're easy to transport, to store, and deploy, and they'll be also TAA compliant. Very important. The Trade Agreement Act, they are TAA compliant for purposes of government sales and so forth. They're time and labor saving because you don't have to find a truck driver, find a truck, find the sand source, bring the sand over, unload it, get guys with shovels. They're going to start ruining their shoulders, necks, and backs, at a minimum, or 2-person job, and then they have to hump them over and put them where they belong. And then halfway through the job, the crew chief says, hey, wait a second, guys, we need this 150 yards down the road. Oh boy, what do we do about the sand? We got to move it all down the road and start all over again somehow, if you're able to do that. Not with these, because in this particular case, they're so portable it won't make any difference. As a matter of fact, if you look here, we have them not only in 4-packs, also in an 8-pack bag that has a handle on it, just like a water softener salt bag. And we also have them in 20-gallon buckets, where you have 20. Why is that important to have that one? Well, because it fits beautifully in the bed of a pickup truck, where somebody can have that available to them all the time to launch and go into service immediately. Now, they offer superior performance. They're rapid action. They're rugged, UV protected case. This is a tough outer casing that's going to last a long time, even in the sun and inclement weather, whatever. They're easily stackable in flood ready positions, so you can stack these guys up. There it is, there's 3 of them. You can see here, this is going to look like this as soon as water hits them, and you're going to find that out momentarily. They have extended shelf life. What else is important about them? All of these contents here are made in the USA using recycled sorbent materials, 100% recycled sorbent materials. They're non-dusty. And here's one of the even greater features. They work in fresh and seawater. Sometimes products don't, but ours work in fresh and seawater. Now I want to show you what's happened in just the short time we've been having our visit here. And we're not even done with this, but I could let it go longer. Look at that guy. Now I'm going to put him right here, and you can see that he's ready to swing into action. That's what happened. It used to look like that. So it's just that simple. Our Floodbag sandless sandbags are also able to capture oil. So what happens is this: the main content in the bag only picks up water, and it picks up water to gain weight and volume, like you see here. It will not take on oil or any hydrocarbon. But where you have a situation where in streets, parking lots, many other areas, or an oil spill, what happens when you have an oil condition mixed up with water? We include another active ingredient, another component that picks up the oil portion to the exclusion of water. So you get best of both worlds. But in addition, let's suppose you suspect you're going to have a lot of hydrocarbons running around. Well, you can use a boom. Now we provide these, we supply them. This is a 10-foot boom. Now the only problem with this boom is they're round. Let me show you on this table what happens with a round boom. With a round boom, only 10% of it is in contact with the surface. So you're really limited as to what kind of exposure you get to what you're trying to pick up. we have a better solution. This is our proprietary product. It's a flat boom. Now what happens with a flat boom? With a flat boom, this has an 8-gallon capacity, but look what happens where you can lay this boom out like that, and as water's coming along, this will pick up all the hydrocarbons to the exclusion of water. The water then moves forward. Any oil that got past this for any reason is going to get captured by the component, the oil capturing component inside the bags. Now I promised you one more thing, and that was that at the conclusion, I was going to show you how we could dispose of these. And the way we dispose of them on site, if you're able to, you just take this bag, you dump it, you grab the oil capturing mechanisms inside, and you're done. The rest of it can go right into nature. Thanks very much for listening.